Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. Today we have a special guest, and sometimes we get hit with the evil 1-2 punch, and so we don't know what to do, where to go. But I have somebody here by the name of Deanne O'Rear-Cameron, and she will be talking to you about a mindset program. It's about getting yourself in order. Sometimes we have to do a double check on ourselves to see where we are and how can we move forward. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut where we don't go any place. So, Deanne, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you.
Now we got you on for 2 weeks in a row because
Yeah,
you were last week with your husband, the nice entertainer, Sykes, and who's also a great show.
Yes.
And but now we want the other part of what you're all about, and you're about here to help people get them on the right track. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself, how you get started in this business, first of all?
Wow. So it goes back, I'm going to date myself for a minute. It goes back about 30 years ago. So 30 years ago, I ended up with my first business. I was in my early 20s, and it was in human development and management training. Paul J. Meyerton and his company was Success Motivation Institute. His company was actually one of the first ones to put the speaking records on LPs. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got with him, of course, they were cassettes. But it was amazing because he had Think and Grow Rich and some of the bigger known names out there that he would put on, but he had his own training company. And it was really about utilizing spaced repetition, so that if you're going to make a change, you're going to do that by repeating what you're being introduced to. Because it's not like you can just hear something once and take it. Very rarely do people do that and take it and run away with it. So it was a beautiful experience that led into a lot of speaking gigs. I did some authoring. I did some writing. I actually worked with the Dale Carnegie franchise that was local to me there, and we teamed up and we would do events. I started doing all my own commercials with the Winners Network, and it was just a beautiful experience. So, you kind of go away from it, you come back. And during the pandemic, I had the pleasure of working with Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor is one of the greats. And he transitioned recently, earlier in the year, and actually became a part of his organization. So while I do my own mindset aspects to it, I am also one of his consultants with his tools, which is absolutely beautiful.
What are the key points to understand about mindset?
Well, when you're feeling maybe a certain kind of way, like you talked about, suicidal, maybe you're wanting to change a habit, whatever have you, it's really good to look at how you're seeing it. What are you seeing in your life? What are the things that are really up in your mind? See, we don't think about what we're thinking about. And, we have so many thoughts that come to us just every minute. What thought are we catching and hanging on to? What thought are we predominantly thinking about? Because that's what's going to give us the emotions behind it. And then the emotions are what are going to bring in certain circumstances into our life. So, for instance, if we were talking about, the drinking, right? What comes behind that is you have some sort of a past hurt, some sort of something that is in your subconscious mind, and it's kind of in control. You're not consciously grabbing the thoughts that are necessary to overcome it.
Mm-hmm. How can we changing your mindset? How can it affect your life?
It is such a huge impact because when you understand how your mind works, how your thoughts are coming in, what you can do with your thoughts, you can change so many things, whether it's your personal life, your career. There's so many things that are behind our thoughts. Thoughts become things.
Right.
And the reason why is because thoughts have energy. And without getting too scientific, it really, really is something that you have to do repeatedly.
Sometimes I sit down and I get my notebook and I just start taking notes of things that are going through my mind and see how I can make some adjustments myself. Sometimes I don't have the privilege of having somebody next to me like you to get a good solid advice. But I like to take notes myself and say, okay, how can I straighten myself out here? I kind of try to self-train myself because I'm pretty good at giving advice to people out there. I love people. I love care. I'm a very caring individual.
Yes.
And I like to always share my love and affection with people. And I don't really have to really know you to feel that way. That's me by nature. But I like to say, like, I want to help, and where do I go? But changing this will definitely affect your life. With the mindset, it changes your life, and you can go forward. And somebody like you is there to help them. Now, if somebody has an issue, like right now somebody has an issue, if they want to reach out to you and say, yeah, can you give me a couple of pointers? How does your project work?
So basically what happens is when somebody contacts me, we literally just have a chat first. I like to just talk with them, find out more about them, find out what's going on in your life. You know, what's happening. And so I go a little deeper in that first call too, as much as they'll let me, of course. And I like to find out not just what's going on, but what is it that you really want?
Yeah,
think big. You know?
Sometimes it can be your health also.
Yes.
Mentally and health-wise.
Yes.
I mean, health-wise, sometimes you feel like you want to die. You feel like this is the end. I can't deal with it anymore. This is when somebody should say, wait a minute, I want to talk with you because there's a lot more to be done. And that's what scares me about some individuals out there. They don't know how to handle these situations. Yeah. You know, maybe me being an ex-fighter, I know how it feels to never been knocked down, but when you get knocked down, they say they're saying in boxing, you get knocked down, but true champions get back up and keep going forward. And that's the way it should be in life. In general, people should not give up. Be like a champion. Keep fighting because you're going to be a winner at the end.
Yes, and that's why I was really actually excited to be speaking with you today, because there's been a lot of quotes that I've actually taken from boxers, like Muhammad Ali and some of the greats. And then last week, you were talking right straight to the camera and, everything is possible. Nothing's impossible. And that's actually my language. It's not just fluff. It really is true. The way we were designed and created by whatever a person feels is their creator. And I'm okay with any aspect of what anybody thinks of that. But for me, it's like we have to understand that we are created for so much more. And we don't really define and find out who we are. We have a self-identity. What is that? And when you go deeper and find out who you are, you start to unpack things that could be getting in your way. And then you start to unpack things like, I didn't know I really had a desire for that. Right. And you got to go for those desires.
Well, sometimes, there's so many hidden things in life that we don't sometimes even look at. So then you got to go behind the curtain and say, I really want to know what the hell is really going on in life. Sometimes we think we know it all, and actually we know very little until we sit down with somebody like yourself, an expert like yourself, to be able to share your knowledge and your wisdom about life in general and how to guide them in the right direction. Because we all need that. I don't care how good you are. We all need a little bit of advice, a little bit of direction, especially when you're feeling a little down and out.
Yeah, and it's amazing because when you were talking about health, what a lot of people don't understand is that mind is in every cell of the body. It's not the body that needs to be motivated. It's the mind. The mind is what's going to get you to move the body. And especially in boxing, that's what's so amazing, right? It's the mind. You have to think like a champ before you win. Before you win, you got to know that you're a winner.
Sometimes I tell individuals, sometimes you can't win every fight. Sometimes you don't become a champion, but you can definitely become a champion in life.
Yes.
If you think right.
Yes, absolutely.
If you think in the right direction and you pray to God and say, help guide me through.
Exactly.
Sometimes we all need a little bit of help, a little push here and there to get you back on your feet. We're not perfect. I mean, we all make mistakes, and we all try to correct ourselves to be a better person, and sometimes you need somebody in your life to help guide you there.
Absolutely. And it's beautiful because, when you have the right tools and the right person and someone that's going to empower you, not somebody that is going to keep you in your past, because your past is actually what's staying in the way. You're kind of on autopilot with all your past experiences and you don't even realize it. That's what's amazing. So when you start to unpack things, if something does come up from your past, you don't want to stay there. You want to take it. It's a learning lesson.
You want to go to second gear and third gear, keep moving
that's
forward.
Right.
Some people they're staying in neutral all the time, and you can't make it a neutral. You got to put it to first gear, second gear, and get yourself moving because there is life after all this that's happening in your life.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the individuals out there, you guys, viewers out there listening, And we're talking from the bottom of our hearts, really, both of us, because we care about people. We care about helping individuals to get on the right track. Not all of us are lucky enough to be able to have a mindset like Deanne, who's really an expert at this. And I can't say I'm an expert, but I can tell you one thing. You should listen to me, because I really care for you guys out there. I really care for people. I want to make sure you get on the right track. You know, you guys know I went through COVID. I went through hell. It was terrible in the hospital for 5 months. But it's not about me. But you know what? I didn't give up. I didn't quit, because I knew that I was here for a purpose. Not only just 3/4 of my life, but the last chapter of my life is going to be the best one. And it's not retirement. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah.
So, Deanne, tell me a little bit more about helping people out there. There's so many things that are going on. People have either marital problems, they got business problems, they have alcohol, drugs, they have all kinds of problems. What's the first steps to take?
Well, the first step to take, first of all, is obviously reach out to me, because I am going to help. There's no doubt in my mind. As long as a person understands what is going on in their mind and they take the steps, that's the key. You just take that first step, you continue to take the steps, and you'll start to see things unfold.
Now we're talking about steps going forward, not taking steps going backwards.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Never go back.
Let's just correct
so
that.
I have a counseling background as well. So I am also a minister. So I've done the ministerial counseling, marital counseling. Yeah. And, what's interesting about that is you do talk a lot more about the past. But I started really switching things over to let's just look at the forward, because I would watch people embracing the past. Oh, but this happened to me. Oh, and I was miserable.
No.
And we can't do that, because the more we own it, the more we feel it, the more we bring that in.
Yeah.
We bring more of it in. There really is something to the law of attraction, but it's not just the law by itself, because the secret to everything is how you're feeling. So if you're feeling really bad and having a bad day, chances are the rest of your day is going to be bad. If you're feeling really good, you're going to bring in people, places, and things that are going to help assist you in whatever it is you want to do that day, tomorrow, next year. A lot of people don't realize this. They think it's fluff.
No, I think you have to plan your day when you get up in the morning. First thing, plan your day. To start off right, fix your bed. Get yourself organized in the morning. Once you get yourself organized in the morning, your whole day will be organized as well. And the thing is to try to say to yourself, okay, I want to go out today. Hopefully, I can help straighten out myself with my issues. And if it's something that maybe you're a single person and you're heartbroken or whatever it is, you're looking for somebody to care for you. And sometimes you say those prayers and it helps. And then you meet that person and the whole world changes,
Yeah, what a lot of people I noticed don't understand that I had to learn myself was prayers are literally setting an intention. And I remember when I was going through the Bible Institute. So I was a graduate, 4.0 graduate at Bible Institute. And it was interesting because in the class on prayer and fasting, they talked about how we shouldn't be begging when we're praying. We pray, we know that it's heard and that it's answered. And if we know that it's heard and it's answered, then the only thing we have to do is to believe and feel that our belief is working and that it's going to be answered, it's going to be heard.
And it's going to be heard, it's right.
Yeah.
I believe in that. I believe that. God give you, he wrote your script for you. Your script is already written. You just got to wait for your turn. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you got to be patient. Whatever good is going to happen, it's going to happen soon. Just be patient. Don't think it's the end of the world. Better things are coming. I don't care how down and how you may feel. Good things are always coming. But you have to believe in yourself and believe that things are possible. Everything is possible. Don't let yourself believe that it's the end of the world, because it is not. Sometimes you think it's the end. Perhaps it may be just the beginning of your new life. It can happen for sure.
Yes. And, on that note, we are co-creators.
Right.
And he's made that very clear. So if someone is, looking at how it is with God and, et cetera, this is the beautiful part is we are co-creators. So a part of this co-creator process is stepping up and making sure that we're a part of creating these things in our life. We don't want to just sit back and be complacent. we want to make sure that we're actively working towards these things, these desires. I mean, we're going to get the desires of our heart, but we do have a part.
Yeah.
We do have a part in it, and that part is actually quite simple. It's watching your mind, watching your thoughts, guarding your heart and mind, and making sure that you really work on your self-identity. I cannot stress that enough, because that was the game changer for me. And it's been a game changer for so many of my clients, because that's where the root of a lot of things are, whether it's rejection. Sometimes when people are drinking, it's because of rejection, or it's because they don't want to face something, right? Sometimes we don't want to face something. It feels like it's going to be painful. But Dr. Wayne Dyer said my favorite statement: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it is so true. And what I admonish every one of you to do that are watching, try it on for size. When something's not going well, change the way you look at it. Change the way you look at it. Say, it is what it is. How can I find the good in this?
Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing, because even though you had the COVID in that little bit of a battle, you're able to talk about it, and you're able to share what you overcame, and that you had the right mind for it. And I mean, it's amazing. We have a friend in the hospital right now who has a very aggressive stage 4 cancer. He's an entertainer. But every single post I see from him talks about his mind being strong. The chemo, makes him weak, but his mind is strong. And I know that's what you did, because you came out fantastic.
I couldn't hardly move my phone.
Yeah.
If I moved my phone a little bit, I would get so winded. It was really bad. I mean, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, but life, I'm here for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to make things happen, and
Yes.
not only for myself, but for other ones out there.
Yes.
And I know I can do a lot better in life than just think about myself. I want to help other ones out there. That's why we have this show.
Yes.
I care about giving information out there to you folks out there watching. It's about caring and giving, and feeling good for people, and feeling good about yourself, and believing in yourself. Those are the most important things. And pray to God that it also helps your family. Those who may be suffering can linger in problems if you don't watch out. You have to try to say to yourself, that person is going through hell, but you know what? I want to give a helping hand, because by helping that individual, you're also helping yourself, because you're suffering because that person is going through what they're going through. Your friend going through cancer. I'm sure his family must be suffering a lot, but they have to also believe in him. That makes them feel a lot better about themselves as well.
Absolutely. We first and foremost believe in ourselves, and then we want to make sure that we're serving that same love that we have for ourselves with everyone else, because it's very, very important to be serving, in my opinion. When we're out there helping everyone, it is such an amazing feeling. And when you just put that love and that beautiful energy behind it, you start to watch people open up. When someone's having a really bad day, just leave them with a impression of increase, right? Just give them a compliment, or just acknowledge them in some way.
Right.
And it's amazing how just a simple smile can make a difference.
It's just like when I watch you and your husband performing. I mean, the people sitting out there, you make the people come back to life. They're back in the old days of the music, and they get up and they start dancing. They feel good about themselves, and all because you guys are making that happen. So, you're not only entertaining those people, you're making them come to another level in life.
Thank you for saying that. That's the reason we do what we do. It's never been about going in there for any other reason than to share the love and give them life, because music does that. Music is amazing. But what's interesting is yesterday we went into a memory care. And of course, this is different varying degrees of cognitive disorder. And what I loved about this beautiful building is, instead of medicating everyone, they basically had them, so many activities, and it's just gorgeous. And it was amazing to watch them come alive with the music. It never gets old for us. It's so beautiful, because the mind is still being reached. There's still portions of the mind and the brain that are reached with art and music.
Well, music, I always say those individuals suffering from Alzheimer's and memory issues, put the headphones on them and put the music of their era.
Yeah.
And believe it, did they remember? They start singing the words. They know the words. How do they remember? All of a sudden, they remember all these things. I used to do that with Leon Spinks.
Yeah.
When Leon Spinks was suffering from dementia, Leon Spinks was heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes.
He beat Muhammad Ali back in 1978. Leon was Olympic champion in 1976. 7 pro fights under his belt. He fought Muhammad Ali and beat Muhammad Ali. And I tell you, then years later, way after, maybe 15, 20 years after that, he started suffering from dementia. Then his wife, Brenda, used to bring him over to my house, to my gym at a boxing ring, and I put the mitts on, and he put the gloves on, and he would hit my mitts, and we would go through regular routine, and I would put on music. I put on that music, he would sing to the music, he would dance to the music, and we had so much fun. One day his doctor, Dr. Charlie Brendick from the Rural Cleveland Clinic, would call me and say, Mr. Cortez, what is it you're doing with Leon? I mean, he's changing so much.
Yes.
And it all goes back to, what again, the music. It stays like there's something in your back of your brain that, and that stem that it keeps that memory there. Something is there with the music. And I love to see the seniors when they get up and start dancing to all this music, you know?
It's beautiful. And ironically, Scythe and I used to do music in memory. And that's what we did. And it was before the clinic here, the Cleveland Clinic, was fully, doing some of those programs. It was beautiful because we would go in and we would put those iPods on them. And I'm not going to lie, the first time we did it, and somebody that was in a very catonic state just started singing and having a good time. I had tears of joy. I could not believe, and I feel so truly honored that the two things that I'm involved in, music and mind, are so powerful. So powerful. So if you're not feeling good about something, or if you're having some bad thoughts, thoughts that maybe you shouldn't be here, thoughts about somebody else, whatever, put on a good piece of music. Put on a good piece of music, or call me. Yeah. Because honestly, you don't have to stay there. It feels like it sometimes, but we truly are in control of our thoughts. We're just kind of sitting in this autopilot, allowing them to go wherever. And we don't want to do that. We're meant for so much more. Everybody can do something in their life. We all have a calling, every single one of us. Yeah.
Now, you're also the chairperson of the senior program here in Vegas?
Yes, the chairperson for the City of Las Vegas Senior Advisory Board. And it's beautiful because I, for whatever reason, have just fallen in love with seniors. And I'm in the perfect town for it because we have so many people over 50. And it's a blessing because I'm starting to use my mindset work with seniors now, because I want them to be like you and say, I'm going to fight this. I've got more to do.
They want to be like beautiful. Like Deanne. Keep it going sharp and keep it giving good advice to people out there. And everything is good. It's good about helping out there. There's nothing better than just giving. And I think the best reward in the world is to see somebody else succeed and you say they made it through. Yes. I got them to where they belong. If you're part of it, it makes you feel even more special. Yes. There's no money in the world that can pay you for what you're doing today.
It's so amazing. I mean, honestly, I wake up every day and I feel so honored with everything that I am able to do. Yeah. And I'm willing and able, and that's why I can do it. And everybody's willing and able to put their hand to the plow somehow. But when I saw what happened with everybody's minds, and especially after what we all went through recently, I knew I had to step up in a greater way, a much greater way. And the tools that I have that I utilize from Bob Proctor, the greats. He took 60 years worth of mind work from all the greats, and put it together into a program. And then they also, work with me personally as well, so that we can refine and make sure that they're on the right track.
Exactly. Yeah. We want you guys that are listening. I want you to hit the like on your web, on the internet. Hit that you like, and also subscribe, because we want you guys to share this information. So informative. I mean, you don't get this kind of information every day. I'm honored and flattered to have Deanne on the show today, because this is what we need out there. Sometimes, as we reach a certain age in life, we start losing our loved ones, things are going wrong, health issues or whatever, and we need a little help, a little guidance. And we have to, look up to people like Deanne to help guide us through. But like she said, sometimes, it gets to a point where no matter what you say, what you do, you pray and everything. She said where to reach out to, so you reach out. But reach out to Deanne. Deanne, again, where can I reach you again?
So there's several ways they can reach me. They can call me 702-848-7373. That is my business cell. I try to be accessible. And also, I have a Facebook group. And that's a really great place to go because you'll see me posting a lot of different things. And that's Mindset Matters in Everything.
Mindsets matter and
Yes,
everything.
and that's on Facebook.
That's true.
Yes, yes, and that's a great place to get information. And we're kind of our own little community so that people can feel free to share.